before the council. Madam Clerk, please call the first speaker.
Paul Dittmeyer.
Hello, council members. Okay. Hello, council members. My name is Paul Dittmeyer. I reside in District 8. My family are third generation immigrants. In the old world, we were barbarian farmers. I'm here to request the council initiate an anti-mask measure to prevent federal agents from wearing masks during border patrol operations here in Louisville. In essence, I'm asking the council to do what you can to ensure ICE and Border Patrol adhere to professional policing standards. And I make this request to keep Louisville citizens safe. I make it, for my own children. Both of my kids look a lot like the Latino people being sent to concentration camps. My 7-year-old grandson looks a lot like Lillian Ramos, who spent some time in Dilley, Texas. I make this request also, I believe, to keep LMPD safe and respected. When ICE and Border Patrol act unprofessionally, targeting minorities, breaking into homes, and actually killing people, all police can be suspect by association. This is not fair for the LMPD and has led to it has to lead to our minority community second guessing whether they should contact a policeman in case they need help. This is not something that we want to see happening in our city. Finally, I make this request so I'm on record against this barbaric and unprofessional behavior by ICE and BP. I want my kids and my grandson to know that I was on the right side of this issue and that I'm here to try to protect them along with all the citizens of Louisville. And I just want to add, this is not normal. Surely we can all agree that Border Patrol and ICE can do better. My grandson probably recited the same Pledge of Allegiance we started with today. He got in first grade. He was really proud that he could say it to me. The words he said were "one nation under God with liberty and justice for all." And I believe if we could ban masks on federal agents, we can begin to return ICE and Border Patrol while they're in Louisville to professional policing standards. And maybe we can realize liberty and justice for all citizens in Louisville. Thank you for your time.
Eric Senate. Lars Schwartzweiser, Gruendahl, and I'm so sorry. Can you please take your name for us? I'm sorry, ma'am.
No problem. My name is Laura Schweitzer Gruendahl, and I live in Louisville in District 16. I am here tonight to provide my thoughts on promoting a policy that would prohibit any law enforcement, local, state, or federal, from wearing masks anytime we are in public and providing service to the community. I have one simple question to ask the council members. What will you say to your children and grandchildren when they ask you what you did to protect the people you represent from inappropriate actions by ICE? I have heard that some of you are voting to keep masks on ICE to protect them from us. Who has the guns? Who has the protective gear? Who has the pepper spray? Them or us? Police do not wear masks. FBI do not wear masks. They are expected to perform within their legal authority, and therefore they should not need to hide their identity. nor should they be able to hide and evade the potential consequences of acting illegally if they enter households without proper authority or snatch people off our streets and put them into jails without due process, all the time wearing masks as they do it. I've also heard that you may be voting to keep masks on ice because you believe that you cannot override the federal permissions. But is that even true? Mayor Greenberg does not seem to think so. He has advocated for a removal of masks from all law enforcement. He believes that ICE should be held to the same standard of good policing as LMPD and the Kentucky State Police. Washington State just yesterday overrode the feds on this. And even if it's true, does that really matter that you cannot override federal mandates? Isn't it your intent and the message that you send what really matters? Metro Council has, in my experience, always been a solid, thoughtful, and commendable service to those of us who live and vote in Louisville. You have in the past, and you can once again. Please, when this comes up for a vote again, at least take a stand that is right for your constituents. You know you can take the right stand. Do it so that you can look in your children's eyes and your grandchildren's eyes and say, at least I tried. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Michelle Veronica, I live in District 6. Appreciate you all providing the time for us to come up and speak. It might be a little difficult for me to talk about in public, but I'm going to do it. 5 years ago, my son attempted to take his own life at the age of 11. While other kids were concerned with learning a new skateboard trick or figuring out their math homework, he was deciding it would be better to die alone in his bedroom than to live in a world that rejects him for being trans. I'd like to stress that this happened despite him having the support of his parents, his extended family, and of his friends. It has taken years of gender-affirming healthcare, in addition to finding him a supportive school and community, for him to become the amazing young man he is today. As ignorance and hate continue to be weaponized and legislated, I worry that transphobia will send my kids and many other people into a very dark place. The ACLU reports that anti-trans policies and laws, unsurprisingly, increase feelings of isolation, depression, and suicidality. Not only do restrictive laws reduce access to gender-affirming care, but also have been shown to impact access to all health care. An alarming number of transgender adults have reported concerns that visiting a new healthcare provider could result in discriminatory treatment or harassment. There are currently a total of 117 national anti-trans bills that are being launched, that are being tracked. And we can't continue to sit idly by while our families are under attack. Our only recourse to this blatantly unconstitutional overreach is to stand together as a city and provide protections for our trans and gender diverse citizens. And this includes assurances that everyone continues to have access to health care and remain free from discrimination to participate in all of the public resources that the city has to offer. As our rights and healthcare access remain under attack on a national platform, I implore you to take action to keep our city as safe as possible for my kids, for all of our kids, for our family, our friends, and our neighbors, by offering a safe haven within Metro Louisville. Please, let me focus on guiding my son through navigating college rather than having to defend his right to exist.
Good evening. My name is Elizabeth Harden. I live in District 24 and I'm a lifelong resident of Louisville. In October of 2024, shortly after coming out as transgender, I went to Kroger while presenting as female for the first time. I was nervous. I didn't think anything was necessarily going to happen to me, but I'm a naturally self-conscious person and I didn't want to be stared at. When I got there, though, I was surprised at how normal it felt. If anyone was staring, I didn't notice. That was the day I realized that it was safe for me to go out in public as a trans person. I've never looked back. My experience as an out trans person has been mostly positive, and I credit that to the support system I have around me. My wife, our 2 kids, and our closest friends who all accepted me right away. There's occasional awkwardness in my workplace, but I'm almost never treated with any malice or disrespect. My risk of facing harassment or violence out in public is never 0, of course, but for the most part, I'm able to go about my daily life just as I did pre-transition. And I think one of the reasons I'm able to do that is because I live in Louisville. I consider it a privilege to live in a city where I can feel safe being myself and where my children can see that it's safe to be themselves too. Now, I don't speak for the entire trans community, and unfortunately stories like mine are not the norm. But what I can say is that I and every single trans person I know is terrified by this country's dramatic reversal on transgender rights over the past few years. A recent survey found that over 400,000 transgender Americans have moved since the 2024 election due to anti-trans legislation in their home states. According to the journalist Aaron Reed, Kentucky is at moderate risk of passing such legislation for the next 2 years. And sure enough, the General Assembly has introduced multiple anti-trans bills in the 2026 legislative session, including a bathroom ban and restrictions on gender-affirming healthcare. In her work, Reed also assesses the legal risk for trans youth and their families in each state. Kentucky currently has some of the strictest laws in the country in this regard, including a total ban on gender-affirming care for minors. Due to the Trump administration's threats to pull federal funding from hospitals that provide such care, there is not a single state that Reed considers low risk for trans kids. For the trans community, the message coming out of Washington and echoed in state capitals across the country, including Frankfurt, is clear. You are not welcome in public life. And while this council may not have any control over what laws are passed at the federal or state level, it does have the ability to send a different message. You are welcome here. To that end, I am urging the council to make Louisville a safe haven for the transgender community. One of government's primary functions is to provide for public safety, and I doubt any member of the council would object to that. Some of you may have even campaigned on it. But public safety is not just a campaign slogan, it's a collective responsibility. We all have an obligation to protect our neighbors when they are under attack, no matter who they are, and no matter who the assailant is. I hope this council is up to the task.
Good evening. My name is Garth Ray Noel. I am a resident of Louisville and a student at the University of Louisville in the College of Arts and Sciences. I chose to attend Louisville for one reason only: its reputation as a place where queer people like me, including transgender people like me, could live safely and openly. I grew up in Scott County, Indiana, and when I was a child, being transgender meant being the subject of gossip, ridicule, and threats. Parents warned their children not to speak to me. Older students cornered me in hallways and went as far as to threaten to kill me. When I reported harassment to my school and the abuse, I was rarely believed. This, unfortunately, is a very common trope for my community. By the time I was 12 years old and came out publicly, I had already learned that the world could be a dangerous place for someone like me. Today I'm 23 years old, and I regret to say that I only survived for this long out of unfiltered spite rather than hope, and that is not how life should feel for any child or anyone at all. My story is painful, but it is not unusual within my community. Research published in the Journal of Interpersonal Violence shows that transgender and gender diverse people experience sexual assault at alarmingly high rates. Some studies estimate that between 63% and 87% transgender individuals experience sexual assault in their lifetime, and unfortunately, I fall within the statistic. My innocence was taken away from me by a past stepbrother who was much older than me, who told me that he would make me feel like a girl when he was done. He threatened to kill me if I told anyone, and I never did. Until today. For the first time in my life, I am speaking as a victim of rape because of my identity. I was 12 years old, and I want you all in this room to think about that number that I just said for just a brief moment. This violence does not happen because transgender people exist. It happens because prejudice, misunderstanding, and silence create environments where harm is tolerated. Policies and protections matter because they shape these environments. For the last 5 years, Louisville has become my home, and because of this city has chosen compassion, it has been my environment. Here I found people who accepted me without needing an explanation and got to be a person. I plant trees in Louisville neighborhoods, I play in the university band program at Louisville, and go to local games, and I complain about traffic on I-65 just like everybody else. And why do I do that? Because I celebrate the city's culture, its music, its food, its traditions, and most importantly, I am not an abstract political issue. I am a neighbor, I am a scholar, I am a person before anything else. And there are many other people like me in the city who deserve the exact same safety and dignity that everyone else expects. We need our leaders to see us. I am asking the Metro Council today to recognize that protecting transgender people is not about ideology. It is about ensuring that every resident in the city can live without fear of harassment, violence, or exclusion. It is not about letting us become a statistic. Transgender people are not a theory or a controversy. We are people. When protections are absent, silence becomes permission for harm. And at the end of the day, I hope that you can let Louisville become the city and continue to be the city that chooses compassion every time. Thank you.
District 26. I've heard numerous times in this chamber that resolutions are weightless, meaningless, of no consequence. They are an option, but they are more. They could recognize accomplishments in the life and growth of involvement in city life. They declare an intention, the wish of citizens to set a direction. They can be a nucleus of a vision and express hope. It is the action or the inaction of the Metro Council that gives a resolution weight or weightlessness. It is the ability of the council to hold the administration accountable that gives a resolution meaning. It is the buy-in of the public that makes a resolution consequential. Some examples are 1926, kids over guns. Don't say you agree and then vote no. Place your weight and stand by your decision. Don't try to mislead us. If you think it would be confusing to know if we are in Oldham County or Jefferson County, wake up. We know the difference. From the mayor, Metro Council elections, to our school district size, to how we choose our Board of Education, the precedents for Jefferson County have separate laws is set. A resolution asking for control of our gun control laws is a logical, reasonable request. If you think any action to try and address our kids and guns violence is worth the effort, then put your weight behind 1926 with the action of a yes vote. That's how resolutions become meaningful. Resolution 079, 2015. It affirmed the Paris Accords and Louisville's effort to bring solar energy to the city. The council and the administration put their full weight behind it. More importantly, the citizens put their weight behind it. It gained life as a resolution, as a hope, and a vision. Fast forward to 009, 2020, a growth of that original resolution that now set goals for us to be a 100% clean energy city. Even though the events of 2020 and the change in budget priorities, that vision encapsulated in those resolutions survived. How can Metro Council continue to make those resolutions meaningful? Section 1, number 2 of 009 states revisions of new building codes require energy efficient, conservation, and renewable applications. When planning and zoning bring their recommended revisions to accommodate data centers, those revisions must be examined through the lens of that weighted resolution. When the new budget comes forth, the Office of Sustainability needs to be fully funded. If we don't use resolutions to help create and sustain a vision of quality of life, of livability, then we will become a city of hotel rooms, always comparing ourselves to peer cities. Just think if we achieve our goal of being a 100% clean energy city, we would be a destination city to live in. The economic development that follows would not be for the TIF, but because of the quality of the people of the city. Thank you, Mr. Herman, for putting that small nucleus of hope out there. Stand on the weight of your convictions. My weight is behind 1926. May the vision grow. Thank you.
Oh, hi, I'm Shannon Westerman, I live in District 4, and I'm here to comment on an ordinance passed recently from the massage therapist. I'm a long-term client of a massage therapist, and he's a solo practitioner. He would be his practice would be influenced in a negative way by this ordinance. And I talked to other practitioners around the county and a couple of lawyers just to see what their opinion was about it. And I'm telling you guys, every single one of them was dismayed by this ordinance. So I don't want it to look like a political football for you guys. I know sex trafficking is a huge problem in this country. It's a problem here locally, I guess it's growing. But going after certified licensed massage therapists, it's just not the answer. It's not the answer. So after reviewing it, I was confused myself. I read the ordinance. I was confused by the overreach of the ordinance in terms of what it does to a clinician's practice, and these are professional clinicians, and also the fact that all this bureaucratic sort of nightmare for these individual solo practitioners, it just seems like overkill, and it's not really going to help the problem, I don't think. Licensed massage therapists are educated, as I said, they're certified by the state of Kentucky. I don't know why they would need to be certified by the city of Louisville as well, but, I realize you all have a job to do, you have to tackle it. I'm just not sure this is the correct channel to tackle this sex trafficking issue. Because most sex traffickers, I would think, are operating, covertly and undercover somewhere. And so what you're doing with the ordinance is not even helping the LMPD or whoever law enforcement unit that's trying to get a hold of the bad guys, right? So I'd like to make a suggestion that if a group of massage therapists and council members and someone from the mayor's office and law enforcement, if y'all can get together, maybe for a small task committee, over like 3 months, to go in and revise this ordinance that's not fair, that's not productive, that doesn't achieve the goals that you intend, and develop a new one with the input and get educated so the law enforcement can educate the massage therapist and the council members, everybody can be on the same page. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for all y'all do.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for allowing me this opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Kim Gunther, and I've been a licensed massage therapist in the city of Louisville and the state of Kentucky since 2008. I currently live in Middletown, and I practice in the city of Linden. I'm here this evening to respectfully ask just one thing, that the Louisville Metro Council establish a clear process to exempt licensed massage therapists from the massage facility ordinance, one that protects the public while also supporting massage therapy professionals. Now, back in November, when this ordinance was originally passed, we learned that there had been an ordinance on the books for quite some time that had not been enforced. Well, I was very curious about that ordinance, so I looked it up. The latest version I could find was from 2007. And there were a lot of interesting things in that ordinance if you've read it. But the thing that stood out to me most is that it exempted licensed massage therapists. So I believe that there is a way forward to exemption, and we need not look any further than our friends down in Bowling Green. They passed a similar ordinance not too long ago, and they exempt LMTs. So as an LMT in Bowling Green, you have to just simply provide a copy of your Kentucky massage license to the clerk there, and you receive a certificate of exemption that you're required to display in your office. This makes so much sense to me. because it requires LMTs to still participate in providing proof that they are licensed and they are legal professionals, while also recognizing that they are professionals and it keeps them separate from the illicit sex parlors. By exempting LMTs, the Louisville Metro Council will be stating loudly and clearly that they recognize the important role that LMTs play in providing health and wellness to our community. It would also go a long way to distinguishing the difference between licensed massage professionals and these illicit facilities. In the past several months, and even yesterday in the media, we heard many city officials and even some law enforcement state that they are not going to go after legitimate professionals, that this ordinance is designed to go after the bad guys. If that is truly the intention of this ordinance, then I see no reason that massage therapists cannot be exempted from it. This is all I'm asking for tonight. A way forward to allow LMTs to be exempt from the ordinance while still maintaining a way to go after and shut down all of these illicit facilities in our community that need to be shut down. I appreciate your time tonight. I thank you for your consideration.
All right, Madam Clerk, please call the record to reflect that acting pro tem Piangettini will now resume the chair.
Thank you. Next, we have the approval of council minutes for the regular meeting, March 12, 2026. Are there any corrections or deletions?
Motion.
We properly moved second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Minutes are approved as well. Next, we have the approval of the following committee minutes, all in 2026. Regular committee of the whole, March 12th. Regular planning and zoning, March 17th. Regular government oversight, audit and appointments, March 17th. Regular equity, community affairs, housing, health and education, March 18th. Regular appropriations, March 18th. Regular budget, March 19th. And a special labor and economic development meeting, March 24th. Are there any corrections or deletions?
Motion.
We have a motion, it's properly moved in second. All those in favor of the adoption, please state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Minutes are approved as written. Madam Clerk, do you have any communications to council?
Yes, sir, we do.
Please read those into the record.
Dear President Anderson, in accordance with the Criminal Justice Commission Act, appointing the following: to Mayor Reed, a new appointment term expires December 31st, 2027. Wilma Molestina, new appointment term expires December 31st, 2026. Your prompt action on these appointments is most pleasing. Sincerely, President Mayor. President Anderson, in accordance with the Commission for Persons with Disabilities Ordinance, I'm appointing and reappointing the following: Kristen Barner, a new appointment term expires December 12, 2027. Rebecca Hoffman, a new appointment term expires December 12, 2027. Tahisha Rollins, a reappointment term expires December 12, 2028. Your prompt action on this appointment and reappointment is most appreciated. Sincerely, President Mayor. Dear President Anderson, I'm appointing the following to the Zoo Foundation Board: Jenna Stone, a new appointment term expires April the 23rd, 2029. Nathan Moldy, a new appointment term expires April the 23rd, 2029. Ronald Murphy, a new appointment term expires April 23rd, 2029. This is being read into the record only. No approval needed. Sincerely, President Mayor.
Thank you. Those appointments needing council approval will be forwarded to the Government Oversight, Audit, and Appointments Committee. Our next item of business is a special notice of a proposed amendment to Metro Council rules. In accordance with Rule 1.01 subsection D, the rules of the council may be amended by a resolution adopted by a vote of 2/3 of the entire council, provided that that notice of the vote and a copy of proposed amendments are given at a previous meeting and appear on the agenda. Madam Clerk, a reading of item 14.
A resolution amending Rule 7.03 of the Rules of the Legislative Council of the Louisville Jefferson Metro County Metro Government regarding the reintroduction of federal legislation. Bring the vote.
Thank you. Our next order of business is the consent calendar. The consent calendar compromises items 15 to 33. Are there any additions or deletions? Councilman Craig.
Thank you, Mr. President. We had an item in budget, item number 39. It passed unanimously, but it was sent to the floor because it was an amendment by substitution. After a good bit of conversation, again, it passed unanimously. The sponsor is not here tonight and was asking if we can move that to consent. There's no reason to not do that, so I'm asking that item number 39 be moved from old business to consent.
Thank you. Without objection, item 39 moves to old business. The consent calendar now comprises of items 15 to 33 and 39. Madam Clerk, the second reading of these items, please.
The following legislation was ordered from the Budget Committee. Item 15, an ordinance amending ordinance number 091, series 2025, related to the fiscal year 2025-2026 operating budget by changing the language to reflect the legal name of the entity. Item 16, an ordinance amending ordinance number 092, series 2025, and ordinance number 091, series 2025, related to fiscal year 2025-2026 capital budget and the fiscal year 2025-2026 operating budget respectively by transferring $25,000 from District 13 Capital Infrastructure Fund to the District 13 Neighborhood Development Fund. Item 17, an ordinance amending ordinance number 091, series 2025, relating to the fiscal year 2025-2026 operating budget by transferring $10,000 from the Neighborhood Development Fund, District 13 to the Louisville Metro General Operations District 13. Item 18, an ordinance amending ordinance number 141, series 2011, related to the fiscal year 2011-2012 capital budget, ordinance number 104, series 2015, related to the fiscal year 2015-2016 capital budget, ordinance number 102, series 2016, related to the fiscal year 2016-2017 capital budget, ordinance number 115, series 2017, related to the fiscal year 2017-2018 capital budget, ordinance number 082, series 2019, related to fiscal year 2019-2020 capital budget, ordinance number 121, series 2019, ordinance number 72, series 2020, relating to fiscal year 2020-21 capital budget, ordinance number 084, series 2022, related to fiscal year 2022-2023 capital budget, ordinance number 080, series 2023, related to fiscal year 2023 capital budget, and ordinance number 101, series 2024, relating to the fiscal year 2024-2025 capital budget, and ordinance number 092, series 2025, relating to the fiscal year 2025-2026 capital budget by transferring funds amongst existing district full projects and establishing new projects. Item 39, an ordinance amending ordinance number 160, series 2023, ordinance number 109, series 2018, related to fiscal year 2018-2019 capital budget, ordinance number 072, series 2020, related to fiscal year 2020-2021 capital budget, ordinance number 084, series 2022, related to fiscal year 22-23 capital budget, ordinance number 080, series 2023, related to the fiscal year 2023-2024 capital budget, and ordinance number 101, series 2024, related to fiscal year 2024-2025 capital budget by transferring $80,645.77 between districts, 26 projects amended by substitution. The following legislation was forwarded by Equity, Community Affairs, Housing, Health, and Education Committee. Item 19, a resolution honoring Mr. Sean Donegan by naming the corner of South 34th and West Magnolia Street as Sean Donegan Way in his honor. Item 20, a resolution honoring Mr. Al J. Schneider by naming the turnaround portion of 140 North 4th Street and 141 North 4th Street as Al J. Schneider Way in his honor. The following legislation was forwarded from the Government Oversight Nominating and Appointments Committee. Item 21, appointment of a mayor ranger to the Chickasaw Architectural Review Committee, term expires January 15, 2029. Item 22, appointment of Rolanda's Bird to the Affordable Housing Trust Fund Board, term expires December 31st, 2026. Item 23, appointment of Chase Sanders to the Affordable Housing Trust Fund Board, term expires December 31st, 2028. Item 24, appointment of Travis Yates to the Affordable Housing Trust Fund Board, term expires December 31st, 2028. Item 25, reappointment of Philip Bond to the Affordable Housing Trust Fund Board, term expires December 31st, 2028. Item 26, reappointment of Bruce Gerard to the Affordable Housing Trust Fund Board, term expires December 31st, 2028. Item 27, reappointment of Natalie Owen to the Cemetery Board, term expires April 13, 2029. Item 28, reappointment of James Allen to the Downtown Development Review Overlay District Board, term expires April 13, 2029. Item 29, reappointment of Leslie Clements to the Downtown Development Review Overlay District Board, term expires April 13, 2029. Item 30, reappointment of Rebecca Flashaker to the Downtown Development Review Overlay District Board, term expires January 31st, 2029. Item 31, reappointment of Kelly Jones to the Downtown Development Review Overlay District Board, term expires January 31st, 2029. The following legislation was forwarded from the Labor and Economic Development Committee. Item 32, a resolution pursuant to the capital and operating budget ordinances, approving the appropriation to fund the following professional service contract by Louisville Metro Parks and Recreation for consulting services to assist with remedial action implementation at the Jefferson Memorial Forest Drum Site. Shield Environmental Associates, Inc., $107,000 upon legislation was ordered from the Planning and Zoning Committee. Item 33, an ordinance relating to the Stradley Area Plan and approving its executive summary as an amendment to the Plan 2040 Comprehensive Plan. Case number 26 LDC 0002. Ready?
May I have a motion and a second?
Motion.
Properly moved and seconded. Will the clerk please open the vote? Without objection, the voting is closing.
Hold on 1 second. We'll set that.
Before we'll take a moment. To solve all of our tech issues. Or do we need to just do a verbal vote for a few people?
1 second.
Yes.
1 second. Thank you, sir. Councilman, Councilman Hudson. Mr. President, Pro Tem, I can't remember what it was, 24 votes, yes, votes.
Acting Pro Tem is fine. Yes, voting is closed. The consent calendar passes. The next item of business is old business. Madam Clerk, reading of item 34, please.
An ordinance related to the zoning of property located at 5417 Valley Station Road containing approximately 0.38 acres and being Louisville Metro, case number 25 zone 0024, as amended, ready for.
I have a motion.
Motion.
I have a motion properly moved and seconded. The ordinance is before us. Is there any discussion? Councilman Owen.
Thank you, sir. Chair. I was stupid.
Chair, totally fine.
All right, so this is change in zoning from C1 to C2 at 5417 Valley Station Road. It's currently operating as a 4-bay automotive repair shop, and this kind of brings it into compliance. It passed the planning commission with unanimous 8-0 vote and was asked by an agreed person to come back in front of council. It's in District 25, so I'll turn it over to Councilman Batchon in just a minute. We did add, I think it's 5 mining elements, worked with the applicant, and the applicant accepted those 5 mining elements, and it was passed out of our committee unanimously as well. So, Councilman Batchon.
Thank you, Chair Owen. Yes, we've worked with the property owner. We've added the mining elements from the hours of operation to no outdoor repairs performed on site, and a series of other things to be done on the property to bring it up to code and standard. So we would like to support the move as well. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't see anybody in my queue. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, this is an ordinance requiring a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, please open the vote.
Yes.
Councilman Hudson.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 24 yes votes.
The vote is closing and the ordinance is adopted. Thank you. Madam Clerk, a reading of item 35.
An ordinance appropriating $8,500 from neighborhood development funding in the following manner: $3,000 each from Districts 3 and 21, $2,000 from District 15, and $500 from District 4 through the Office of Management Budget to South Louisville Community Ministries, Inc., for costs associated with annual families helping family dinner to be held March 31st, 2026.
Motion.
Properly moved and seconded. The ordinance is before us. Is there any discussion? Councilman Joseph.
Thank you, sir. This was brought to appropriations and just seeking more funding. The main sponsor is Councilwoman Rui.
Councilwoman Rudy.
Thank you. So this is the fundraising dinner for South Louisville Community Ministries. Their total request is $12,000. Right now they're at $8,500. So we're looking for another $3,500. And yes, we have several districts who also have support get services from South Louisville Community Ministries. So I'm hoping I'm going to be able to fill this out.
Thank you. And unlike my esteemed colleague who normally occupies this chair, I like to go by the technology, so if you'd like to chime in, please get in the queue. We're going to start with Councilwoman Perkins.
District 5, 500.
Councilwoman Rita Weber.
District 8, 1,000.
Councilwoman Molly Wolch.
500, District 24.
Councilman Marcus Winter. Councilman Owens.
How close are we to the? I'll do, so we got a couple others in here. I'll do 500.
Councilman Bratcher.
22,500.
Councilman Joseph.
250 for District 12.
Sorry, is that good? Okay.
Oh, I mean, I can give less if other ones to go, but
Well, right now, I will say, we have Councilman Syme and Councilman Batchin in the queue to contribute. If you'd like to give a little more so they can contribute, that's fine, but that is the limit.
Point of order.
Point of order.
Let's split it 3 ways.
$83.33.
District 8 could go down to 500 to allow us to get at a meaningful level.
Okay, how about this, Madam Clerk, what were you originally at?
I was at 1,000, but I'm happy to do 250, let everyone else go to 250, just to
So
demonstrate.
let's do this. If you drop down to, he had given 250, you drop down to 500, that allows Councilman Syme and Councilman Batchin 250 apiece. Does that work? No objection? Excellent.
Motion.
We have a motion and a second for the amended ordinance. All those in favor of the amendment, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Excellent, the amended ordinance is for us. Will the clerk please open the roll for vote?
Chair, you have 24 yes votes.
Excellent. Voting is closed and the ordinance passes. Ordinance is adopted. Madam Clerk, a reading of item 36.
An ordinance appropriating $39,061.86 from the neighborhood development funds in the following manner: $6,300.30 from District 1, $7,560.36 from District 6, $5,250.25 from District 3, $4,200.20 each from Districts 5 and 15, $3,150.15 each from Districts 4 and 21, $2,100.10 each from Districts 2 and 10, and $1,050.05 from District 7 to the Office of Social Services for costs associated with the purchase of portable air conditioners for residents without adequate cooling as amended.
Motion.
Properly moved and seconded, the ordinance is before us. Is there any discussion? Councilman Joseph.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to hand it over to the main sponsor, Councilwoman Ruby.
Councilwoman Ruby.
Thank you very much. So this is the third year we've done this, and I'm so excited to see this many more districts participate. If anybody else wants to join, I'm sorry, but we already placed the order. We've been told we're cut off at this point, so I hope you can join us next year. But this has been very successful, and thank you very much.
Excellent. Well done. Is there any discussion on the topic? Councilman Linder.
Thank you, Mr. Acting President Pro Tem. This was an appropriation that I put before my advisory council, the district-wide meeting, and I just want to say that I was really impressed with my residents, that they had a really serious discussion of how to fund this. They asked, how many requests were there for last year? And they said, we want to do more than that. We want to make sure that everyone is safe in our district that requests these. And I just wanted to say, I'm really proud of my advisory council and what we do there, and I'm really proud of the decision that my residents made.
Thank you. Seeing no one else in the queue, is there any further discussion? Seeing none, this is an ordinance requiring a roll call vote. Will the clerk please open the roll?
Mr. Acting President Pro Tem, you have 24 yes votes.
Voting is closed and the ordinance is adopted. Thank you. Madam Clerk, a reading of item 37.
In ordinance appropriating $5,000 from neighborhood development funds in the following manner: $5,000 from District 3 through the Office of Management Budget to the Young Men's Christianist Organization of Greater Louisville, Inc. for costs associated with the Black-Owned Business and Excellence Awards Program to be held March 14, 2026.
Motion.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded, the ordinance is before us. Is there any discussion? Again, Councilman Joseph.
Thank you, sir. This came to appropriations and Councilwoman Parrish Wright is the sponsor. Hand it over to her.
Thank you, Councilman Joseph, and thank you, Council President Pro Tem, Acting Pro Tem. I'll get it together. This is the 5th year for these excellence awards, and starting last year, Councilman Ben Reno Weber and I went in to help, and it's been amazing to watch it grow. Over 876 Black and minority-owned businesses have been nominated. There were more than 40 winners, including community organizations. And we don't get to do a lot for our small business communities, especially because they're private businesses and we can't use tax dollars, but we can lift them up. And in District 3, we try to do that. I'm looking for more support. Before Councilwoman Hawkins left, she agreed to donate $2,500 towards this. It did just happen, but it's through the YMCA. They still have vendors they need to pay. I think the total ask is, correct me if I'm wrong, like $89,993, and you have a balance of $1,493. So I would like you all to consider giving a gift to help us meet that balance. Thank you.
Thank you. First in the queue is Councilman Reed.
Thank you, Mr. President, Pro Tem, whatever. I gave up. Support local businesses, particularly support local small businesses, so $500 from District 16.
Councilman Owen.
500 District 9.
Councilwoman Moby Willich.
District 24, 250.
I see no one else.
$43 left.
Oh, no, I got Councilman Shanklin. You're all good?
Can we make it $243?
$243 from District 2?
Thank you all.
Thank you. So that's it, Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir.
Okay, terrific. Can I get a motion to second for the amended ordinance?
Have we met?
They've met the dollar. Motion and second for the amended ordinance?
Motion.
Second.
Motion properly moved and seconded. The adoption of the amendment to be done by voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The full amended ordinance is before us. Madam Clerk, please open the roll for the vote.
Mr. Acting President Pro Tem, you have 24 yes votes.
Thank you. Your vote is closed and the ordinance is adopted. Madam Clerk, a reading of item 38.
An ordinance appropriating $1,000 from neighborhood development funds in the following manner: $1,000 from District 8 through the Office of Management Budget to Metropolitan Housing Coalition, Inc. for costs associated with the Housing and Utility Affordable Conference to be held April the 7th, 2026.
Motion. Second.
Properly moved and seconded. The ordinance is before us. Is there any discussion? Once again, Councilman Joseph.
Thank you, sir. This was brought to
Councilman Rita Weber.
The Metropolitan Housing Coalition is the source of my favorite thing in our policy universe, which is data. And they do an amazing job of helping us understand the complexities of these issues. They have tracked over time our trends. And this is their event in which they will be presenting that data and also really working to help organize our community around housing, which is an issue that I know everyone in this room cares a great deal about. So we would love your additional support to help them be sure that they can have a high quality event and present that data to all of us.
Excellent. I have several people in the queue here. We're starting with Councilwoman Moby Willich.
Thank you. I'm going to agree with my councilman over there in the fact of yes, loan data and supporting the housing, $500 from 24.
Councilwoman Reed.
1,000 from D21.
Councilwoman Purvis.
D5, 500.
Councilman Winkler. Councilman Owen.
500.
Councilwoman Chapel.
What's the total? $6,250.
750 from fiscal 15.
And Councilman Dan Stein Jr.
250 from District 13, please.
Councilwoman Bass.
514.
Councilwoman Hirschman.
1,300 from District 3.
Councilwoman Shanklin. That is everybody that have in my queue. Was there anyone else? Yes, Councilman Arndt.
I'll add another 500 from District 9.
Councilman Basham.
250, please, sir.
Again, that's everybody I have in my queue. Any other speakers? Okay.
Motion to amend?
Properly, motion second, the amendment requires a voice vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. The amended ordinance is in front of us. Is there any discussion on the amended ordinance? Very well. This ordinance requires a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, please open the roll for voting.
Mr. Acting President Pro Tem, you have 24 yes votes.
Thank you. Voting is closed and the ordinance is adopted. Madam Clerk, a reading of item 40.
A resolution of the Legislative Council of the Louisville Jefferson County Government urging partnership between Jefferson County Public Schools, Louisville Gas and Electric Company, and the executive branch of Louisville Metro Government to study the safety and placement of school bus stops in relation to the street lighting in the Louisville Metro area. Read and vote.
Motion.
Properly moved and seconded. The resolution is before us. Is there any discussion? Councilman Winkler.
Thank you.
Well, I'm glad you started with Councilman's side. It was discharge petition, that's why we didn't put it here first, but I'll start with Councilman's side.
We'll turn that to Mark. Thank you. Sorry. And thank you, colleagues. I want to thank everybody for co-sponsoring this resolution, which is, I think, a very important issue, and appreciate those who agreed to discharge the petition. Just so that the public understands, last week we had several members out, so we didn't have the Public Safety Committee. I presented a version of this resolution at the Board of Education several weeks ago. They adopted it unanimously. I didn't want 4 more weeks to go by because we're fundraising before we meet again, and so asked my colleagues if we could discharge it from committee this week and pull it up to council, and appreciate everybody's help doing that. I think, as witnessed by the fact that 25 of my colleagues have signed on, I think ensuring that we've got safety at our school bus stops for our children is critical importance, whether it's vehicular safety or any other, visibility safety that comes with waiting at a bus stop. I think it's critically important. I applaud our partners in LG&E and JCPS who have stepped up to work on this issue with us. We have a meeting with Public Works and JCPS this coming Monday to go ahead and get the ball rolling. And it's my hope that we will have all of these stops identified and be well on our way to making sure that they're lit by the time school starts next school year. So again, colleagues, I appreciate your support and hope that we'll pass this shortly.
Thank you, Councilman Winkler. I don't have anybody else in the queue. Anybody else? Very well. Seeing there's no further discussion, this is a resolution allowing for a voice vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Before I get to this next thing, I just want to remind council members, we have a special vote after this last item in old business, so please do not get up after I announce this last item, so that we can have the vote to add the item into new business. At the request of the sponsor, item 41 will be held until our next meeting, but the sponsor has asked to explain for the purposes of the public, the reason for the hold. So, Councilman Hurd.
Thank you, Acting Pro Tem. Yes, Ken Herndon, District 4. A few colleagues from both sides of the aisle, as well as the Director of the Fairness Campaign, asked us to consider putting together a letter that we could all sign together to see if we can move past this and do that. I agreed to hold it until 3 weeks from now. Councilman Owen stepped forward and to be the point person on behalf of the original ordinance. Others will join our work group to see if we can make that happen. If they can, we will do so. If despite their best efforts, they cannot make that happen, then we will get back to the original ordinance as submitted and vote for it at that time, and vote back down at that time. But I think it's a good thing to see if we can make that happen. Also, last night Mayor Greenberg joined in support with a statement. He is aware of this effort and he supports it as well. And we'll see what we can do, how we can. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Herman. Colleagues, before the reading of new business, item 58 was requested to be added late. Pursuant to Council Rule 5.12, the council may dispense with Council Rule 6.06 to allow for the acceptance of this late legislation with a 2/3 vote of the council. Are there any questions about the vote? Yes, I was going to ask for motion and a second. Motion and a second. Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor of adopting this legislation into new business signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, and item 58 will be added to new business. The next item of business is new business. As we leave the chamber, colleagues, please do so quietly so the clerk may read the business. I would ask those council members that wish to make announcements, please remain in the chambers and request to speak on your system after announcements, or under announcements. New business compromises items 42 to 66. Will the clerk read those items and their assignments to the committee, please?
Never in my career as a lawyer.
The people of Louisville deserve a mayor that will listen, that will offer opportunity, that will make sure the most marginalized get the resources they need. I'm here to tell you that I am the right choice because I've been working for you the whole time. I plan to be exactly who I campaigned to be. And every role I've taken in this city has been to serve and take care of people. On May 19th, this is too important for you to stay home. We need you to go vote for your future. Louisville, it is our chance to change the direction and to make it better. Louisville is better when we come together as community. Louisville, it's time.
This is brought to you by the people to elect Shamika Parrish Wright.
I'm gonna do what my granddaddy taught me to do. And stand up for family. And fight back. But you been respected for too long.
They don't expect that. We're not gonna have our kids marching. This is it.
Once and for all!
Justice for Patrick! Justice for Patrick! Justice for Patrick!
As a black man, I stand up for black women.
I don't want to say another motherfucking name! Kanye Jordan! 400 years later, not a damn thing changed!
I stand up for black women because it's what I'm supposed to do.
It's all one fight. The same people that suppress the vote, they'll suppress your living rate.
It's standing up for freedom, a freedom that knows action, a love that is in action.
Enough is enough!
I'm not sleeping and I'm not done until we get justice.
Ain't no curling, the world, people don't stop. What's got to go, hey, hey! Ho, ho! Let's go to what's got to go!
Why is everybody, why is the police fighting against us, but they're supposed to be helping us, but that's what they should.
If black women don't do it, then it don't get done. That's what I'm hearing.
When I say gun, you say no.